Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from anthonymorganti.com, and this is episode 190 of Photo Critiques. And in this episode, I'm pleased to critique the work of Khalid Al-Khashrami. I know I mispronounced that, so I apologize. Um, Khalid sent me in some very nice shots, and this first one, kind of really nice night image. You got this 30 seconds at f/29, ISO 100, so a really small f-stop gives this really dramatic like starburst effect here, and as you can see, that really well done. And once you learn this, you got this 30-second exposure, so all the cars that go by, we have these streaks of light that go through. Now a lot of cars went by, so it's really bright here, but once you learn this technique, try to do it in other places. Like this is a really busy scene. What kind of makes this a good shot though is these bursts here. I think really dramatic. But if you could take this in a more scenic scene somewhere, and maybe a little less streamers of light here. There were a lot of cars, so a little less traffic, and I think it would be a strong shot to do. So something, it's hard to say because you got to find an overpass where you could stand above the road to shoot, so you don't always get it, or somewhere safe where you could stand by the side of the road and shoot and still get a shot going down the road. So once you learn this technique, you need a tripod, and you really just need a long exposure. And if you want the starburst effect, use a small aperture. Usually around f/13 you really get a nice starburst effect. So you could try it in different spots in different areas. It's called framing. I mention this a lot. Whenever you have something like this being framed and the moon's here, and it's a nice shot. I mean, it's not super compelling. It's not superly, interesting. It's kind of unusual, so it's interesting. This shot here, the couple things. There's nothing much in the sky. There's not much of interest there. It's a great exposure. I mean, really well done. 20 seconds f/22. ISO 100. These lights are so far away now, we didn't get that kind of burst effect. They're a little too far away, but we have some nice reflections because the long exposure smoothed out the water. I think you really had to get closer to the bridge and make the bridge more dominant in the shot because there's just too much dead space up here. And I think if you were closer and still could get these rocks in the foreground somehow, I think it would have been a much more compelling shot. This is an interesting shot. There's really something weird going on over here. I don't know what this is here. If you shot through a window, you could see there's really weird kind of marks throughout the shot. I like the idea of what you were going for though, with this kind of smog look and everything kind of washed out. Very interesting. We got kind of these buildings going down in size, but this kind of ruins the image though, because you got like a blotch. It's almost like having a transparency that it got burned or something right there. It's a really nice shot. Very well done. This one here doesn't have the camera information on it, but it's a really nice shot. Beautiful sky, nice leading lines going through the shot, help lead you through the shot, and of course beautiful color. The only thing I could suggest on here is I would say to add a vignette. I know I say this a lot, but I think a vignette, whenever you have brightness in the corners, if you add a vignette, it really helps the shots usually. There's before, there's after, there's before, there's after. Helps the viewer focus towards the middle of the shot. This shot, it's okay. It's the composition is good. It's not super clear. There's like, I don't know how to explain. If you could see it in the video, it's kind of blurry back here. It's 18 millimeters and an 18 to 135 lens at f/14, ISO 400. It should be more resolute than this, and I'm not really sure why. It's kind of got a blur to it, all back here at 1/100th of a second. So even if you handheld this at 18 millimeters, it should have been really very crystal clear, and it's really unusual. So I'm not really sure why it's kind of blurry back in here. The scene's okay. It's not super compelling. We have some people in it, which help give us some scale of how big all this is. But it's really the sky's not super interesting. There's the water, but there's nothing in it. So it's and like I mentioned, it's a little blurry. It's a cool shot. This Bonaparte Seagull, I think they call those. They're very interesting shot though. It's kind of an art shot. Very nice, very well done. I like the shot. This is kind of a study on shadow on the door, and focus is good, and really well done. It's a cool shot. I like the colors. I like the drama. The side lighting really shows off the textures on the wall. Kind of interesting up here. We have these autofocus kind of. You can see these kind of. That's the aperture blades are coming through because something is out of focus up there that is reflecting some light back towards the camera. But it's pretty interesting. It adds a neat effect, and it's really well done. A nice shot too. Again, very good focus on this one. Very clear. Nice sky. Nicely done. I think that's the last one. Yep, that's it. Khalid. I'm sorry. I'm horrible with names. Anyway, I do appreciate you sharing your work with us. Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank everyone that watches all my videos and watches me just mangle names. And thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys soon.